So go back to when you formed the band. How did you guys meet? How did you form?
Well, the band got together probably almost 6 years ago. Before I was in it, before either of these guys were in it. It was pretty much just a bunch of friends in high school get together, playing in a garage or practicing in a church down the street or something, and it was pretty much just a bunch of kids getting together, being like, hey, you guys want to start a band? And it was before I was in the band, but I was friends with all the guys and stuff, so I was kind of around back then. But it was a lot different than it was now. It was pretty much just oh wow, we have a show, and that kind of thing. It wasn't touring or anything. It was a long time ago though.
Did you put yourselves on the road to an extent?
Yeah.
Without tour support or anything like that?
No.
We've never had tour support. When I joined the band, I was 17, and all these guys, we were all still in high school, and we were talking about touring, and we went on tour for the summer, and we toured for almost 8 weeks straight, and we all at the end of the summer got paid $24.50, and $2.50 of it was in coins, and we were and we were all just 17-year-old kids sleeping in a van and not taking showers, stuff like that. We just didn't we just started from the ground up, and I think that's kind of why we can really appreciate and know what it is to be fortunate enough to play shows, and to be able to eat, and to be able to sleep in a hotel every night, and we're just really grateful, and I think we cherish it a lot, because we came from nothing, and Spencer too was in bands before he was in our band, and we've all toured and done
Everyone's gone through
no
the
money,
same.
no nothing, So we all come from really humble beginnings, in our homes and in the band. So we're really grateful for what we have,
What other things did you do as a band to get the word out, flyers, merch? Can you talk about all the things that you did as a band to get the word out?
We pretty much just tour. That's pretty much all we do. We just are on the road constantly and playing shows constantly. And it's kind of one of those things. When you go to a town and you play in front of 20 people, those 20 people go and tell their friends that they were at the show, and maybe next time you come there will be 30 people. That's kind of how it all starts. Just kind of word of mouth kind of thing. So we just make sure to keep ourselves on the road all the time and constantly be playing. And that's pretty much it.
Do you have a website?
Yes. Yeah, it's Underoath777.com.
Do you guys chat with your fans on the website, or
I
go online and chat with your fans?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, because when I'm home, we're not home all that much, but when we are home, I really have nothing to do. So I'm always on the computer, and when we're on tour, I always give out my screen name and stuff. So when I come home, people will be talking, and I'll sit on the computer for hours and just talk. As I'm really bored when I go home. So, but it's fun. It's a good time.
When mp3.com was up, it was amazing, and now Pure Volume, I think it helps us a lot. Before our record came out, not everyone's gonna see that one magazine ad you have or whatever you have out there pushing your CD, but kids now are all about finding bands online, and if they even just saw you at a show and didn't have money to buy it, then you can go listen to something for free. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main things now, for especially up and coming bands. There's so many websites that you can go to. If you're looking for a band that you haven't heard of before, a band that you may have heard of, you want to check them out. You can go to countless number of websites and just look at stuff. And I think definitely nowadays, especially, it's just it's a really, really big thing.
You guys are considered a Christian band. Is that cool? Is that who you are and what you're about? Can you talk about that whole Christian thing?
That's I guess everybody has to break everything down in the labels, whether it's your genre of your music or your beliefs or whatever it is, and that's just what we are, a lot of people try to beat around the bush and say well, we're Christians in a band, or well, we don't really want to do this, or we kind of want to do that, and it's we're just blatant, the band's formed on Christian beliefs and Christian principles and a Christian lifestyle, and that's what we've kind of committed our lives and the band to do, and that's what it will always be, and we'll never deny our relationship with Jesus and what we do, in our ministry, and kind of the music and what we wanted to do with people,
So when you write your music, is it about often Christianity in your lyrics, or do you try to convey it in your music as well as your lyrics? Or?
Yeah, most of the time it's all about. I mean, not all the time. It's like just stories or whatever, but we definitely just write whatever we feel, and a lot of times that's it. You know, it's like it's definitely what we're out here doing, and that's our main goal. You know, it's like.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is like lyrically is a lot of the songs are about things that every person deals with, like whether it be like losing somebody or like a countless number of topics. But like the thing is like we just kind of come at it from a different aspect, because it's like there's this thing, but we come at it from a different viewpoint. We have songs on our record that deal with like people who struggle sexually with things. We have songs about losing people, and we have songs we have a song in there that's just about God pretty much, but it's just it's a wide variety of things.
So you say, Tim, you said Christian lifestyle. How would you describe the Christian lifestyle that you live?
I mean, I think for every Christian, like, there's different things that people feel convicted about, and different ways that each person feels that they're called to live. But I mean, for us, like, we just look at the Bible, and like we look at Jesus and like how he acted and how he treated people and what he did with his life, and like that's kind of what we try to mimic our lives after. And like, none of us party, or we're everyone in our band's virgins and stuff. Like, we've all worked really hard at like keeping our bodies and our minds and our hearts as pure as possible, like given our situation, and like, yeah, I mean, our lifestyles just reflect what we believe, and like we don't really feel the need to like have to like force it down people's throats and stuff. It's kind of like we just live, and like any of the guys here will know, like, let you know, like, that's just, a lot of people see that and they're like, well, why don't you do this or do that? And it just gives you opportunities to talk to people. Probably just in the past few years, it's only been just probably 2 years since Christian music and hardcore have been able to like coincide with each other, like live like respectfully and like humanely in the same scene, and like when we first started, like just seeing all these other bands that we know that we're going through this, like, it wasn't until recent that kids started coming out and being respectful to what we believe in. Like, it didn't matter what you were, as long as you played good music and you had fun and you respect people. It's cool, like that wasn't always the case,